If you know how much money you got, you really don't have no money. So if you know how many buildings you got, you don't really have no buildings. So I think I own right now.
They say fighters are born in the ring, but there are some who are born into it, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. falls in the latter category. Or should I call him Money Mayweather? I like the second one better. It does match our aesthetic after all. Now don't get it wrong, because before he could spell his name, before he could slip a punch, before the fame, the money, the undefeated record, there were eviction notices, jail visits, and a pair of gloves that never stayed clean for long. Raised by a father who trained champions and disappeared behind prison walls. Guided by a gym that became his refuge, his classroom, his escape. They called him Pretty Boy because opponents couldn't touch him. But what they didn't see was the obsession. Running miles in the dark, counting every calorie, treating discipline like religion. Floyd didn't just fight men, wait a minute. We can't start off in the middle, can we? Let's take it back to where it all started. The bumps, the struggles. That helps us appreciate the present more. Hope you are as excited as I am to go on this journey. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s early life began far from the glamour and wealth that later defined his public image. Born February 24, 1977, in Grand Rapids, Michigan, he entered a family where boxing was already woven into everyday life. His father, Floyd Mayweather Sr., was a professional welterweight who once fought Sugar Ray Leonard, and his uncles Jeff and Roger Mayweather were also accomplished boxers. A family in which the sport wasn't just a career, but a language and inheritance. From the moment he was old enough to toddle through a gym, Floyd was surrounded by the sounds of punching bags, pads, and sparring instructions. By his father's own initiative, he was placed near the heavy bags almost before he could form complete sentences, and the young boy quickly began mimicking combinations on anything in reach. According to early accounts, he was fitted for his first pair of gloves by the age of 7, becoming a regular presence in a neighborhood boxing gym just a few doors from home. But Mayweather's childhood was defined by more than boxing. It was shaped equally by instability and hardship. His father's legal troubles, including a 1993 prison sentence, removed him from Floyd's life at critical moments, and his mother, Deborah Sinclair, struggled with addiction, leaving Floyd in the care of his grandmother for much of his youth. He grew up in economic insecurity, recalling periods without electricity and cramped living situations shared by multiple relatives. Even so, it was his grandmother who insisted he stay focused on boxing when he considered quitting school to help support his family. She was, by his account, the first person to recognize the full potential hiding in his discipline and drive. Despite these difficulties, boxing offered a structure that his home life lacked. The gym became the one place where he had control. His early amateur success came quickly. He earned the nickname Pretty Boy due to his clean, unmarked face, a testament to his exceptional defensive skills. And he captured the Golden Gloves titles in 1993, 1994, and 1996, establishing himself as one of the most promising American amateurs of his generation. His amateur career culminated at the 1996 Atlanta Olympics, where he fought his way to the featherweight semifinals. Though he lost a controversial decision and left with a bronze medal, the setback only strengthened his resolve. Within months, he turned professional, beginning a career that would ultimately change the economics and visibility of the sport itself. Looking back, every element of Mayweather's early life, poverty, family instability, inherited boxing knowledge, the discipline of early training, and the unwavering belief of his grandmother served as both fuel and foundation. Those years forged the psychological toughness and precision that would later define his undefeated record and global fame. And as the young Floyd Mayweather stepped into the professional ring for the first time in 1996, the trajectory of his life was already apparent. The hardships behind him had not diminished him, they had sharpened him. Everything that happened next, from world titles to worldwide recognition, grew from the hunger and resilience shaped long before the world knew his name. By 1998, in just his 18th professional bout, he captured the WBC super featherweight title with a dominant 8th-round stoppage of Genaro Hernandez. That victory not only established him as a world champion, but earned him the ring's 1998 Fighter of the Year award, confirming that his skills had translated seamlessly from the amateur to the professional stage. Over the next several years, Mayweather advanced through weight classes with remarkable ease. He won the WBC lightweight title in 2001, moved up again and claimed the WBC super lightweight title in 2005, and then transitioned into the welterweight division, where he quickly became a dominant force, defeating Sharmba Mitchell in 2005 and Zab Judah in 2006 to continue collecting major championships. By 2007, Mayweather was widely regarded as the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world. Yet it was his victory that year over Oscar De La Hoya for the WBC super welterweight title that brought him full mainstream recognition. That bout became one of the most watched fights in history at the time, and the combination of Mayweather's skill and the media spotlight transformed him from a boxing technician into a global figure. De La Hoya was the sport's biggest draw. Defeating him elevated Mayweather into the territory that would eventually define his career, boxing not only as a sport, but as an entertainment business. From there, his professional life became a series of victories that reinforced a central truth: no one could solve him. His undefeated streak became part of his identity, and the nickname Money emerged not only from his financial success, but from his ability to guarantee massive pay-per-view numbers. I like where this is going. His fights against marquee opponents, including Ricky Hatton, Juan Manuel Marquez, Miguel Cotto, and Canelo Alvarez, reinforced his image as one of the most technically dominant defensive fighters in the sport's modern history. CompuBox recognized him as the most accurate puncher ever recorded and the fighter with the highest plus-minus ratio in boxing statistics history, attributes that supported his reputation as a defensive genius who rarely absorbed clean punches. One of the defining elements of Mayweather's professional life was his ability to manage his own business. As his career progressed, he built Mayweather Promotions, giving him control over his fight negotiations, marketing, and earnings. That decision played a crucial role in making him one of the highest-paid athletes in the world. He topped Forbes' athlete earnings lists in 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015, making him not only a boxing icon, but a financial blueprint for athletes seeking independence and ownership of their careers. His most publicized professional moment came in 2015 when he faced Manny Pacquiao in what was marketed as the fight of the century. Though the bout itself was marked by tactical discipline rather than explosive exchanges, it drew unprecedented global attention and became the highest-grossing pay-per-view event in boxing history at the time. Mayweather won by unanimous decision, extending his undefeated record and solidifying his status as one of the most successful combat sports figures of the modern era. In 2017, after defeating Andre Berto in 2015 and announcing his retirement, he returned for one more professional contest, an event match against UFC star Conor McGregor. While unconventional, it further demonstrated his business acumen. The bout delivered massive commercial success and allowed Mayweather to retire with a perfect 50-0 record, the best-known undefeated record for a modern professional boxer. Since retiring from official professional competition, Mayweather has continued his career through exhibition bouts, maintaining his presence in the sport while protecting his official record. These exhibitions, often promoted globally, reflect the same blend of athletic skill and commercial understanding that shaped his entire career. Today, Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s professional life stands as a combination of athletic mastery, strategic control, and financial innovation. He is recognized by major boxing authorities and media outlets as one of the greatest fighters of the 21st century, known for his unmatched defense, precision, and longevity. And even now, the world continues to anticipate what comes next for him. Whether through exhibitions, promotion, business ventures, or cultural impact, Mayweather's professional legacy remains active, not concluded. Unto the billions earned from his sweat, Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s financial life grew in parallel with his boxing career. evolving from the earnings of a young champion into one of the most complex and scrutinized empires in global sports. By 2025 to 2026, his net worth is generally estimated between $300 million and $500 million, depending on the valuation method, with some analysts arguing that his total assets could place him closer to $1 billion when factoring in real estate and private investments. What makes Mayweather's financial story unusual is that he accumulated over $1.1 billion in career earnings, largely without relying on endorsements, a rarity among athletes of his stature. His income is anchored first in boxing itself. Mayweather mastered the business of pay-per-view, earning sums unmatched in the sport. His mega fight against Manny Pacquiao in 2015 earned him an estimated $250 million, and the crossover bout with Conor McGregor in 2017 generated another $275 to $300 million in his favor, making them two of the most lucrative nights in boxing history. Even after retiring, he continued generating enormous returns through global exhibition matches, from Japan to Dubai, often earning millions per appearance and maintaining a steady flow of income long after most fighters fade from public view. But Mayweather's financial architecture extends well beyond fight purses. His biggest long-term success emerged from Mayweather Promotions, the company he fully controlled after buying out his old contract for $750,000 in 2006. That single business decision allowed him to keep both the fighter's share and the promoter's share of his bouts, fundamentally changing his financial trajectory and ensuring that every major fight multiplied his earnings far more than a typical champion's pay structure would allow. It was a shift from athlete to businessman, and it set the foundation for everything that followed. Over time, Mayweather expanded aggressively into real estate. Reports confirm that he owns luxury properties across Las Vegas, Beverly Hills, and Miami. And that leads us right into his real estate portfolio. Mayweather's primary and longest-standing home is his custom $10 million mansion in Las Vegas, a property that mirrors the city where much of his professional identity was shaped. Reports describe this Las Vegas estate as a luxurious and expansive residence, equipped with high-end amenities and the privacy required for a global figure. It remains one of Mayweather's most publicly referenced homes and a central piece of the lifestyle he built during and after his boxing career. Beyond Nevada, Mayweather expanded into California's elite real estate market by purchasing a $25.5 million mansion in Beverly Hills. The property features lavish amenities such as a wine cellar, home theater, and exquisite interior detailing. In 2024, he listed the mansion for $48 million, signaling both an awareness of property value trends and his willingness to reposition even his most iconic residences as financial assets rather than permanent fixtures. This Beverly Hills mansion became a symbol of the level of opulence Mayweather reached in the peak years of his career. On the opposite coast, Mayweather added a third cornerstone property, an $18 million waterfront mansion in Miami. This home, located in one of the most desirable luxury markets in the United States, reinforced his preference for properties that offer both prestige and strategic investment potential. The Miami estate's prime waterfront location reflects the combination of lifestyle and asset value that characterizes much of his real estate strategy. Although these luxury homes form the public face of his property holdings, Mayweather has also shown interest in large-scale real estate investment. In 2024 to 2025, he promoted his involvement in a $402 million acquisition of 62 buildings containing roughly 1,000 housing units in Upper Manhattan, a move he presented as part of a wider effort to expand into commercial real estate. Subsequent reporting questioned the extent of his ownership stake, but the attempt itself demonstrates that Mayweather's mansion purchases sit within a broader ambition to transition from luxury homeowner to large portfolio investor. Despite his consistent claims that all of his homes are fully paid for, later financial reviews indicated that some of these mansions carried mortgages and liens, including expenses tied to his Las Vegas residence. This does not diminish the scale of his holdings, but it adds nuance to the image he projects. His properties are simultaneously personal symbols, public statements, and financial tools within a complex investment ecosystem. For a man who once lived in cramped quarters without reliable utilities, the sweeping estates he now occupies represent more than opulence. They symbolize control, security, and the permanence he lacked in childhood. And as his business ventures continue to evolve, the world anticipates which skyline or shoreline will host the next chapter of Money Mayweather's ever-expanding real estate empire. You know what comes next, right? His car collection and private jets. Yeah, with an S. His is called Money, after all. Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s car collection is one of the most publicized in professional sports. His garages contain more than $15 million worth of luxury cars, and he is known for organizing them by color. All white vehicles in one mansion and all black vehicles in another. Starting strong with the Bugatti hypercars, Mayweather's Bugattis are among the crown jewels of his collection. Although the exact Bugatti models are not specified in the verified sources, he is documented as owning multiple Bugattis in general. Prices ranging from $1.7 million for the Bugatti Veyron to over $3 million for the Bugatti Chiron, both being common ultra-luxury hypercars in the Bugatti lineup. These cars are famous for being among the fastest production vehicles in the world. For Mayweather, the Bugattis represent the extreme performance tier of his fleet, machines built for power, prestige, and rarity. Ferrari is another pillar of Mayweather's lineup. His collection includes multiple Ferraris, again, not identified by specific model, but confirmed as a major part of his total fleet. Ferraris are known for high rev performance, Italian engineering, and symbolic value among elite collectors. Modern Ferraris typically cost between $250,000 and $600,000. For Mayweather, Ferraris serve as both high-performance machines and statements of luxury identity. Mayweather's Lamborghinis fill the role of extreme visual flair paired with speed. Lamborghini supercars are designed for aggressive styling and dramatic presence, and their inclusion in his collection aligns with the bold persona he projects. These typically range from $200,000 to $500,000. Mayweather's Rolls-Royces form the luxury comfort tier of his collection. While the sources do not list exact models, Rolls-Royces such as the Phantom, Ghost, Cullinan, and Wraith are common among ultra-wealthy collectors. Rolls-Royce vehicles provide the opposite experience from his Bugattis and Lamborghinis: smooth, quiet, and focused on refinement rather than speed. These vehicles match the persona he often showcases online: relaxed, affluent, and in complete control of his environment. Rolls-Royce cars make up a significant portion of his all-white and all-black arrangements, with a price range between $350,000 to $550,000. One of the most distinctive elements of Mayweather's car ownership style is how he displays them. Verified reports confirm that he keeps all-white cars at one residence and all-black cars at another, a unique sorting approach that has contributed to his brand image as a luxury connoisseur. This system applies across his Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Rolls-Royces, and Bugattis. Now, to those in the sky, Mayweather's Gulfstream G650 is valued at approximately $60 million and sits at the top of his mobility assets. It remains one of the most expensive and prestigious private aircraft available, used by billionaires, CEOs, and heads of state. He is confirmed to own at least 2 private jets, with the G650 being the flagship example of his post-career luxury lifestyle. Beyond real estate and luxury assets, Mayweather has invested in cryptocurrency, apparel, stock markets, gyms, nightclubs, and other entertainment-based ventures tied to his TMT, the Money Team, brand. His company has grown into a merchandising and promotional machine that continues to generate revenue regardless of whether he steps into a ring. Exhibition fights, public appearances, and media projects keep his income steady, maintaining his position as one of the wealthiest athletes in modern history. Floyd Mayweather's financial story is ultimately an extension of his ring persona. disciplined, strategic, unorthodox, and always centered on maintaining the upper hand. Whether his net worth grows toward the billion-dollar mark or stabilizes at current estimates, his investments, earnings, and business ventures continue to keep him at the center of financial discussions in sports. An athlete whose career outside the ring now generates as much fascination as his undefeated record. I would like us to also look into the personal side of his life. Mayweather's childhood was marked by instability. His father, Floyd Mayweather Sr., was deeply involved in boxing, but was also entangled in violence and legal troubles, including a prison sentence in 1993 that shaped young Floyd's emotional landscape. His mother, Deborah Sinclair, struggled with addiction, which further fractured the family environment. As a result, Floyd spent much of his youth in the care of his grandmother, and her influence became a stabilizing force during a period defined by poverty, lack of electricity, and crowded living arrangements. He became a father to several children: Coraun, Iana, Zion, and Jaira, a role he has spoken about with pride, even as his relationships and family arrangements remain complex. Public records and biographies list multiple siblings as well, including Justin Mayweather Jones and several sisters, giving him a large extended family that remains connected to his personal story. On June 1, 2012, Mayweather reported to the Clark County Detention Center in Las Vegas to serve his jail term for domestic abuse. After serving 2 months, he was released from prison on August 3, 2012. His personal life in retirement has been defined by movement, travel across continents for exhibition fights, promotional events, private entertainment, and business ventures. Even in these later chapters, Mayweather maintains a public persona grounded in independence and self-determination, often stressing that he is financially set and that his lifestyle is something he earned through discipline and sacrifice. Looking ahead, Mayweather's personal life is likely to remain a balance between public spectacle and private self-preservation. His brand, both as a retired champion and as a businessman, depends on visibility, but his personal motivations still echo the earliest lessons of his life: to control what he can, to secure his legacy, and to ensure his family inherits the stability he fought so hard to create. No matter where Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s story goes next, one truth remains clear: greatness isn't built overnight. It's built through struggle, sacrifice, patience, and a willingness to bet on yourself when no one else will. From nothing to everything, his journey proves that your background doesn't limit your future. If there's anything to take from his path, it's this: stay disciplined, stay focused, and never apologize for wanting more out of your life. Thank you for watching. If you're ready to keep growing, keep learning, and keep pushing your own story forward, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Your next chapter is waiting. Go chase it.